All right, so how did you start Valhalla? Because you were telling me beforehand it was, what was it before?
This was a maritime logistics
Okay.
facility before.
Okay.
I always wanted to open a gym.
Yeah.
I started working out when I was 13.
Okay.
And always wanted to. Back then, all the gyms were privately owned. Like there were no corporate gyms. There was no franchises.
So the gyms were like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, they weren't all necessarily hardcore like this, but they were all privately owned. So
Yeah.
you didn't have contracts, you didn't have cancellation fees. 24-hour gyms didn't exist back then, so
That's
there weren't
true.
no 24-hour gyms.
Yeah.
So it was just totally different, and I always wanted to do that because I was really into working out. And then when I got into competing, that just took it even further.
Yeah.
So I always wanted to have a gym, and but I literally growing up, the environment I was raised in, I literally had zero support for like anything I did.
Yeah.
Like anything. Like if I did any, like when I went and told the people that raised me that I wanted to compete, like you would have thought that I went and told them that
Looking like you have a third eye.
well,
why would you do
no,
that?
like you would have thought I went and told them like, look, I really want to make a career as like a professional drug dealer.
Yeah.
Like they were just so disappointed.
Yeah.
Like thought I was just totally throwing my life away.
Do you think the idea, like bodybuilding back then, was still kind of like a fringe sport almost? Like not something that everybody just went into?
Yeah, I mean it was
opposed to other
definitely
stuff?
more selective back then. The difference from then now is like once you got, and not that I mean when I first started out I always had aspirations to be a pro, but then as I kind of went on I was doing it for me.
Yeah.
But it's funny because actually back then, like if you were a pro, like you like people got contracts to where they were taken care of. It's not like it is now. Like the
People still have like full-time gigs where they got contracts, you know?
Well,
From what
right.
I've heard.
yeah. I mean
Yeah.
you can't really you don't make the money now just because the industry is so inundated, and with social media,
true,
there's just people everywhere.
Yeah.
Back then, if you were a pro, like you got signed by a company and like you got taken care of, you didn't have to work.
Yeah.
You know, so it was actually funny because you could actually make a serious living
Oh, yeah. I mean,
back then.
shit.
being a
Yeah.
pro. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had no support in that. So when I was in high school and I really wanted to eventually own a gym when I get older,
Yeah.
I was always told you can't make money doing that. You're never going to be able to do it. You're never going to do it. Blah blah. You know, just all of the.
All the usual,
The usual
stuff.
shit, you know,
Yeah.
yeah.
It tells you you can't do it. Yeah.
So
Wow,
so I
man.
was, I became a personal trainer. I was personal training, and I was going back and forth from gyms and stuff like that.
Where'd you
And,
where'd you personal train at
dude, I
when you
personal trained
started?
all over.
I got you, man.
Lakeside Wellness Center, which isn't even there anymore. It's two-lane Lakeside now.
Yeah.
I personal trained there. I personal trained at Franco's
Jeez,
in
man.
Lakeview, which
Yeah.
isn't there anymore. I personal trained at Simply Fit
Okay.
in Old Metairie, which isn't there anymore.
Which isn't there anymore.
Right.
Jeez. Okay. So all these old timey gyms back in the
Yeah,
day.
right.
Yeah. Uh huh. Wow.
And so I kind of got out of that. I got out of personal training. I just got tired of it because people just we don't really have the fitness population down here that a lot of
gotcha.
other places do. So I was passionate about what I do.
Yeah.
So it was never really about just collecting money from me. Just same thing with the gym.
Yeah.
You know? So these people would come in and were literally just training with me so they could go and eat and drink whatever the fuck they wanted.
So it wasn't any kind of dedication. It
No.
was just they needed you to sit there
Right.
and just
Right.
be there. For
Right.
them.
They didn't want to
Yeah.
sweat during their training sessions and all this shit. And like
Yeah.
that's not what I do. Like I don't do what I do half-assed.
No.
So I got tired of it, got out of it. I started doing like warehouse jobs, inventory type jobs because I like that kind of stuff because I'm like OCD when it comes to organization
Yeah.
and shit like that, So I fit in like great with that.
Yeah.
And growing up, I always did like manual labor type stuff, so none of that shit bothered me.
Yeah.
So I got into that, and when I was working at Oracle Lighting, became close with a bunch of people there. One of the guys there was like, dude, he's like, why don't you open a gym?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
You probably never
like,
thought about that.
fuck, man, like I need to. Like,
Yeah.
I really need to.
Yeah.
You know? Because it was still all people were. I think the whole thing with the corporate gym industry was kind of hitting its peak in terms of what people were fed up with.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, it's and especially like where I come from in freaking Mandeville, You know, Mandeville's all about the corporate gym structure. Like it really is. You got Stone Creek, you got Pack, Franco's. It is all about the clubs down there. There's a huge, you know, sort of population that exists in those clubs. So we don't have that around here.
Right.
So I'm seeing these gyms crop up, and everybody freaking loves them. Man.
Yeah.
I'm feeling a need.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, people were just bitching. People were tired of like the bullshit that comes with the corporate gym. So
yeah,
I
like that I don't have to wear a mask right now. I'll be real with you.
You're not allowed to come in here without a mask.
I freaking love that. No, I was.
It's not that you can wear a mask if you want to. You're not allowed.
No, Joe. Yeah, Joe at Covington Athletic. He got in trouble because he put a sign out in front of his thing that said that. So, and of course, you know, people bitched and it caused problems. But
I mean,
whatever.
Lots of people bitch about what I do here, but I still do what I do. I mean, you don't have to be here.
I love it, man.
I mean, if you want to work out and wear a mask, just don't come here. Go work out someplace else. I mean,
no, that's not acceptable. What the hell, man?
It's really easy.
People have to get on Twitter about that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
So
awesome.
So yeah, I started doing the legwork to try and put the gym together. I knew I kind of had an idea type of equipment I wanted. I had the idea about the environment. I found the name, and really the hardest part was just securing the funding because I mean I literally had no money.
For somebody trying to open up a gym, do you think that's just the biggest part is funding right there?
Oh yeah, I mean you can't go. Look, I don't care what commercials or banks and all this shit say, dude. No bank wants to fund a startup business. Like you'll hear these banks say, "Oh, you know, we believe in supporting small business and we fund startup business." Bullshit. Yeah. They fund you if you have whatever money you want to borrow, which negates the point of you borrowing money. If you have the money, you go do it on your own.
Yeah, it's like the scene in all these movies where you get the person like, I just want to do this for my family, and the bank is like, no.
That's what it's like. I mean, that's what it's like in real life. I mean, seriously. Like I had a client literally do like a $5,000 business plan for me for free. I mean, this business plan is like, dude. I mean, it's
about
insane.
who you know. It's
like I presented the bank every single thing I needed to show how I was going to be different, to show how I was going to make it, everything. And the guy that I'm pitching the idea to works out at fucking Planet Fitness. I'm like, dude, you don't know, you don't get anything that I'm saying right now. And I told them I'd been in the fitness industry for like 17 years, and they were like, well, you know, underwriters do their research, and I'm like, dude,
wow.
How long have your underwriters been involved in the fitness industry? Like, you're going to tell me they're going to do some research and tell me that they know better than I know after 17 years of being working directly in this industry? Like, is that what you're telling me right now?
Yeah.
Like, it was just so much bullshit. I mean, it was.
So you knew immediately. You're like, okay, obviously this is not going to be, you know, right when you figured that out, you're like, okay, I got to do this myself. I got to figure out a different way to do this. Yeah. Well, that's a good piece of advice, though, because I wouldn't have known that. You know, I would have gone down that same path.
I mean, you can get a loan if you have the money.
Yeah.
I mean,
but it's true. Nobody's just going to like take the dive anymore. It's not.
You have no time in business.
Yeah.
You have no revenue stream.
Yeah.
So they're literally taking a chance, and the first thing they're going to spit at you, which is the first two banks spit at me that I went to. Well, you know, 80% of startup businesses fail. And I'm like, dude, I don't give a fuck about the 80% that fail. I care about the 20% that make it.
I was about to say, you got to just do it to figure it out. It's that's how they all start.
Right,
yeah.
Right. And it's funny because they're funded businesses that already have the money to secure the loan, and these businesses are failing. I'm like, so y'all's whole idea about this is flawed.
Yeah, like it's all flipped on its head anyway. Yeah, so it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, nobody's willing to take that risk.
Right.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
So I basically had to go through an online lender.
Nice. Okay.
The first online lender I went through, signed the preliminary paperwork and all that shit.
Okay.
Literally in the 11th hour, I had found this place. I signed the lease on this place, and they pulled out. They were like, look, sorry, bank can't fund you. And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, I already signed the preliminary paperwork with y'all. I'm like, dude, I just signed a lease. The equipment was built. The equipment was in Houston, built, waiting to be shipped. The guy's like, yo, like, when can I ship this? I'm like, well, I'm not telling him what's going on.
Yeah.
So that was a whole.
So that was a whole ordeal. That
was a whole 2 week period. That was a whole 2 week period where like I didn't fucking sleep and was having panic attacks like crazy and all that shit. And this whole process I'm telling you about right now took 3 years. So from start to saying I'm going to do it to the doors open, it was 3 years.
See that I mean, shit, that helps people like me who can hear that stuff, and it's like you do just have to willingly go through sleepless nights. You basically just say this is what you have to do.
The whole thing,
no matter what.
The whole thing with me that pisses me off right now is the entrepreneurial thing right now is literally being glamorized, and I hate the word entrepreneur. Like, I'm not an entrepreneur. I don't consider myself.
It's like when you tell somebody what you do or something. If you're in like that the process where you're trying to become that, they'll tell you like, oh, he's so entrepreneurial.
Yeah, no.
Like, shut up about that.
Yeah,
don't say.
Dude, that's bullshit.
It's true.
That's bullshit.
People want gyms nowadays that just expect you to do the hard work anyway. It's not gonna. They're not gonna come at you with any kind of.
Yeah, they want to keep you in your comfort zone.
Yeah,
but nothing happens in your comfort zone. Like, you're not getting results being comfortable in anything in your life.
I had already planned on not doing any hard work in my life, so I'm sorry,
right,
man. You're kind of telling, geez, Shawn,
I wanted to be a millionaire.
The hell, you're just kind of bursting my dreams right now.
Yeah,
what
right,
the fuck?
Exactly. But so I found this company that honestly, dude, the best way to describe it is it's basically like a modern day legal loan shark type.
Okay.
Okay. They were like, look, we can fund you. This is your monthly price. This is what your monthly payment's going to be.
Okay.
It is what it is. And
straightforward about it, at least.
Yeah. I mean, dude, it was literally 2 pages of paperwork. Like, so that's cool. There was some shady shit going on, because literally, like, whenever you have to sign a loan, it's never 2 pages of paperwork. Okay.
It'll be this quick. It'll be done. I'm telling. It's okay.
Yeah, right. It's cool. But the numbers fell within my budget, so I was like, fuck it, I don't care. Let's do it. You know. Well, so later on, when the gym gets rolling and I'm trying to cut down on expenses, like, I'm contacting them on what's my buy off amount. And so basically what they did was, it was a 5-year loan that they gave me. They compounded all 5 years of interest on top of the loan, and you had a fixed payment. So there was no buying it off early. It was like, basically what they said was, okay, you need $47,000 for this equipment.
Okay.
So we're going to give you $47,000, and you're going to pay us this amount of money every month for 5 years, regardless, until it's paid off.
That sounds fair, right?
It's not fair, because you can pay it off early, but the total amount. So I needed $47,000. Okay. The total amount, once I pay everything off, will be $110,000.
Okay. Man, look at how stupid I look right now.
Now you can pay it off early if you want.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, you're paying $110,000. There is no take off the interest. Let me know what the final balance is. They compound everything together and say, we're going to give you 47 grand, and because we're giving you 47 grand, you're giving us 110.
Oh, so it was just okay. So that was the shady stuff you were talking about. That's the compounding. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you got it.
I got it. Right. I mean, there was no choice. Like, when I actually had somebody explain this shit to me later.
Yeah.
They were like, you realize you're paying like 70% interest, and I'm like, I get it, and that makes me nauseous right now, but there was no other option.
Yeah.
Like, this was it.
Yeah.
I mean,
you were backed into a corner. Yeah. You had no choice. You had to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like, look, you do this or it doesn't happen. So I had no choice. I had no choice.
You feel like it's working out. I mean, as far as your reputation goes, man, I'm telling you,
I'm gonna have it paid off.
You're freaking everywhere.
Yeah, I'm gonna have it paid off soon. So I mean, it worked. I mean, making that sacrifice worked, but it goes back to the point of like, dude, sometimes you just got to eat shit to make shit happen. I mean,
you know how many people have told me, like my dad's told me that. Everybody I know has told me that exact phrase, like, you have to eat shit. Like, that's literally verbatim. Like, that is exactly what it is.
But it's not just in business, it's anything in life. If you want that promotion, if you want to make that money, if you want to have that type of relationship with your partner, like anything, like, you have to eat shit to get there.
Yeah.
It can't be good all the time, because for you to really appreciate what you have, you have to go through dark shit. Like, if you don't, it's like you have to know both ends of the spectrum to be able to appreciate one. You can't really know what happiness is until you're miserable. You can't really know like what easy is until you've gone through the hardest.
Yeah.
Like, that's with anything in life.
That's a tough thing too, because I mean, it messes with relationships. It's, you know.
Oh, dude, it turned my this whole thing. I mean, it was a double-edged sword. I mean, it turned my life upside down. Like Valhalla has done everything it's done, and I'm still don't really consider Valhalla successful, because I have not done what I want to do with this.
Well, because you're you know, you're an innovator, you're a businessman, so it's never going to be enough for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's exactly it. It's never going to be enough. I mean, it's never going to be enough.
And it's not. And when people say entrepreneurial, it's not even that. It's. I think the reason why I don't like it is because it doesn't take into account all of the thoughts that go through your head that 24/7, right? It's all about innovation, because if you don't give yourself 100% to it, you're never going to have these great ideas that eventually like pay off.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
But I mean, because my entire energy and focus was on Valhalla, that's why it did what it did. But I mean, it totally destroyed other aspects of my life. Like I lost relationships. I mean, dude, that first year when Valhalla was open, dude, I was out of my fucking mind. Like I didn't sleep for the whole first year. I mean, if you put all the amount of time that I slept together, actually slept, I probably slept like a month. I mean, there'd be times when I just wouldn't sleep. I mean, I lived here for almost a year. I mean, it's easy for people to look and see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And think that it's easy and criticize other people and judge other people. I'm like, motherfucker, you don't know what it's like.
Yeah.
Like you have no clue.
Yeah.
You have no clue what it's like to do really anything hard in your life, but staying on track with the gym, but having bills due every month and having no money.
It's true. Nothing's coming in. Like you're not making money.
No. I mean the membership is always like we broke even at the 9-month mark. So once I hit 9 months, the memberships were paying the gym bills, which was good.
That's pretty cool.
But that was 9 months.
Yeah. Of being constant
where's
stress.
Where's the money coming from? Where's it coming from? Like, how am I paying bills? I mean, that was the second time I started competing in 2001. The first time I took off from competing was Katrina.
Were you NPC?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then the second time, that was the second time when the gym opened. That was the second time I took a year off from competing. So like, that was kind of my hobby. That was my therapy. So it totally destroyed like a part of me.
Yeah.
It's fucking hard, dude. Like, and people don't realize, unless they've done it.
Yeah.
You don't realize what it does to you and the stress and how you just literally lose focus of you.
You don't. Yeah, it's funny. You don't even. You just kind of forget.
You
forget. Simple things take a back seat. You know,
I mean, dude. Like everything. Like my life was so one dimensional. It was gym. I mean, that was it.
Yeah.
Like that was it. Which again was great because the facility was able to do what it was, but it destroyed everything else in my life.
Yeah. Wow, man. But it's good for young guys like me to learn that. I mean,
I feel like anybody, regardless, because I did this when I was 34, 35.
I got you.
So I mean, I was young, but I mean, I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How old are you now, man?
I'll be 39 this year.
Okay, I got you, man.
I feel like with anything, like you need to know the raw, ugly truth, because if you're not prepared for that, and if you can't know the raw, ugly truth, and be like, this is cool, I can deal with this.
Yeah.
Then you're not ready. You're not ready to deal with it.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I thought I was listening to Andy's podcast and I was listening to all the shit he went through and all that stuff, and I was like, okay, like I'm prepared for that. I can deal with that. And dude, that didn't prepare me for what I went through.
No. I mean, what people tell you doesn't. Yeah. It's unless you experience it. Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, absolutely.
Did you feel like hearing what other people tell you about it? I know for me, I'm kind of in the middle of it, but it's a lot longer, I guess, than what you think. It's part of what you think is, if I put the hard work, it'll happen so quickly. Right. It'll be so fast.
And I mean, and stuff did happen fast. I mean, it did, but it's still. I mean, I still don't pay myself.
I was about to say with the stuff that happens, it's like more things come about, and then you got to just the responsibility keeps compounding.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. And all the money I make, I mean, I put back into the gym.
Which is what any good businessman would do. So
I mean, people think that like, oh, Valhalla's doing so good, he must be making all this money. Dude, it's 4 years.
No, it's constant.
I've literally
sacrifice.
Never written myself a check. It's been 4 years.
I applaud you for that, man.
I mean,
it's
part of it.
Yeah, it's freaking sacrifice, but it's why this has taken off the way it has, you know. But what people see outside looking in. So, and how'd you come about with Valhalla?
Well,
Are you somebody who is from like your lineage is Nordic? Okay.
No.
I mean, you look like it. It's got you got the freaking you got the dope ass haircut and everything. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I always wanted the gym to be exclusive because I only wanted to cater to people serious about training.
Okay.
So I wanted a name that supported that. And like with Valhalla, only Viking warriors that died a brave death in battle went to Valhalla. Everybody can go to Valhalla.
Yeah.
So I wanted something like that because the gym wasn't going to be for everybody. Like your first membership's got to be a 3-month trial.
Yeah.
At the end of the trial, we accept you or reject you. Because like if you come here and sometimes I've had people that don't even make it through the 3 months. The first guy that ever got rejected, he made it a month. And I was like, dude, you got to go. Like, I mean.
Can I ask you this, though?
Yeah.
What constitutes them not getting through that 3-month period? Are they just annoying people? Like, you just look at them and just get a vibe?
I mean, really, honestly,
I came in wearing a beanie, so I don't.
No, you're fine.
He eats hemp. He's a vegan.
You could be a vegan. That's fine.
I don't know.
It's really like it's really stuff that you would think would be common sense, but nowadays society has become so fucked up and entitled.
Yeah.
That people don't realize shit that they're doing that is like not okay and wrong.
Yeah.
Because it's largely been accepted as in society via social media and all this shit that like certain things are okay and it's not. So like one thing I can't stand is fucking gossiping. So
say it again.
Gossiping.
Oh yeah. Oh,
so like I hear like I'll have members and it happens because like dude, like everyone here is people. Like we all have normal lives.
Yeah.
So I have members that are going through shit and then I'll hear other members sitting there trying to pry into their shit or want to know what's going on or talking about other members about it. I'm like, dude, it's not your fucking business.
Yeah.
Like I understand social media has made y'all feel like it's okay to be in everyone's business, but it's not.
Yeah, that's what they take it, man. It's still that's why Facebook sucks right now. That's why everything sucks right now. So
sucks.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's and too with the fitness industry. I mean, I think Instagram is kind of to blame for this, but the idea of working hard and kind of putting in your time into a gym like this has kind of lost its touch.
Oh,
man.
absolutely.
It really has.
Absolutely. I mean, everybody's looking for the easy way out and for the shortcut, and like for the long-lasting, sustaining results, there's not.
Yeah,
it just doesn't exist.
And that's why you got out of personal training, I'm sure, is because you just didn't see that. Is what
absolutely.
You said. That's why.
But I mean, and that's the thing. So the message that I preach with Valhalla, it's not. You know, if you read the social media posts I make, and people do ask, so I'm going to say this now. I do write all my own social media posts because
that's awesome.
I've had all kind of people be like, "Do you write that?" I'm like, "Yes, I write that." What I try and relate it to is life. I don't try and relate it just to gym stuff because the shit that I preach here and the culture that I've created here, you can apply like the hard work, the discipline, the sacrifice, the consistency. You can apply that to any aspect of life.
Yeah.
Relationships, job, I mean, being a parent, being a good spouse, anything. It all takes hard work. It all takes consistent hard work. And the second you give up on it, you start losing it. It goes to shit.
Yeah.
Like the second you want that job promotion and the second you stop working for it is the second that you are losing it.
Yeah.
So all that shit that I preach here, I do it because you can apply it not just here, you can apply it to everything in your life.
It's true.
And that's what I'm trying. That's the type of people I want here. Dude, I cannot tell you, and there's members that can vouch for this, I cannot tell you how many members since they've joined here have gotten business promotions, have gotten offered jobs out of state with insane pay increases that they cannot pass up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm happy for them. Like, they get all upset. They got to cancel a membership. I'm like, dude, like, go. Dude, like, pursue your life. Pursue what you want to do.
Yeah. I mean, shit, you're living that. Yeah. It's all about that.
So, like, all that shit that you cultivate here and all that shit I preach here, like, filters out into all other aspects of your life.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why people that go to these places like Planet Fitness or whatever that are putting you under all these rules of what you can and can't do that are really ultimately hindering you, if they think that shit doesn't transfer outside those doors into their life, they're kidding themselves because it does. The environment you're in, the different environments you're in transfer outside of your life.
Yeah. So it's coming into here. It is sort of like maybe an uncomfortable atmosphere for most people, but that is what helps them grow.
Well,
ideally,
right. I mean, dude, you come here and the music's loud, it's dirty, people curse, like people are yelling in here, people are spotting each other, helping each other.
Ears can't take it.
Yeah, right. I mean, dude, like this place is not the air. I mean, I turned all the air conditions off.
Yeah.
Like this place is not designed for you to come here and be comfortable. It's designed for you to come here and be uncomfortable and work and learn how to be uncomfortable and put that work in and get to where you want to be.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, dude, I have people on the athlete wall, literally, that before they joined here, it never crossed their mind to be a power lifter. It never crossed their mind to get on stage or be competitive. And now they're doing it. And now their pictures on that wall. And they're doing shit that they never even would have thought they could do.
Yeah.
But they're surrounded by all these other normal people who are doing it. And they're like, well, why can't I? Why can't I do that?
Yeah. And that's,
they're doing it.
Yeah, I think people need to do shows. I mean, I really do. I've been talking to people about it. It's kind of, you know, everybody needs like a short-term goal. I think people, you know, they talk about just doing something for health and fitness, and it doesn't make sense anymore. You know, you can't.
Yeah, I mean,
like, what does that mean? You know, you have to something.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have a goal, I mean, what are you doing? I mean, it's like you're just existing.
Yeah.
I mean, you should have goals for everything.
Yeah.
I mean, everything in your life.
No.
Something can be improved on.
Yeah.
Something can be made better. I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
And the majority of people have lost sight of that.
That's true.
You know?
That's true, man. Yeah. Do you want to do any more shows coming up? You're going to continue with it?
Yeah. I mean, I competed 2 years ago.
How'd you do?
I got second. That was
nice,
that was the second time I think I competed as a heavyweight, and I got second.
Heavyweight, so you bodybuilder, huh? Mm-hmm. Bodybuilding, okay.
Yeah. I wanted to compete this year, but there's just way too much bullshit going on.
Yeah.
I got a ton of personal shit going on.
Yeah.
That I have to devote attention to.
I got you, man.
So it's just, and that's the thing when it comes to competing. Like, I don't believe in competing half-assed. So if I can't be fully tunnel vision, and I can be tunnel vision with this going on. You know,
well, because this sort of blends into all that. Yeah.
But if I can't give it 100%, if I have shit that I'm going through where I know like I can't mentally be there 110%, I'm just not going to do it. I don't believe in doing things half-assed. You either do it or you don't. You know, so I agree with that. I'm not going to do it. And that's the thing that I'm learning this year that I put the most effort into is finding that balance again.
Yeah.
To where it's not just 100% gym, 100% gym. Because there are things that I want in my life and I want to have. And I have one of the things that was going on was I lost a relationship that was very, very, very important to me.
Yeah. That's not ever fun.
I lost sight of myself, and I did things that weren't true to myself, and I need to get back on that. So I'm in the process right now of fixing that.
Yeah.
And restoring that so that we can have that the right way, the way we always should have.
Yeah, that's true.
But to do that, you have to have balance.
Yeah.
You have to, you know. And that's the hardest thing is trying to be successful in all these different aspects of your life.
Everything, all of us is just sort of, you know, there's other things out there.
Yeah. Yeah. But you have to be able to devote the specific time needed at specific times for it. You can't let one thing totally encompass your entire life.
Damn, bro. Where do you see Valhalla going in the future, man? Where do you want it to go?
Dude, I got so many plans. I still have so much more equipment I want to get. I definitely want to get into a bigger facility. I definitely want to own my own building.
Okay.
So that, you know, that's in the future. I definitely want really at that point, I'd like the facility to be invite only. The goal was always to be invite only at the end of the day.
Because that creates, man, right there, man. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, it's brilliant. Like just the 3-month process, though. I mean, you're already kind of doing that, but you know, you got the trial period.
Yeah.
But that's, I mean, that bucks the trend of how gyms have always done things.
I mean, I still got people that come in here that, you know, as much word has gotten out about the facility, there's still people that don't really know what we are. So like people come here and join for a month and then go away, and I'm like, dude, that pisses me off so much. I'm like,
that's not a commitment right there.
Don't come here and join for a fucking month. Like I don't want your money. I don't want your membership. Like this is for people who are making a long-term commitment. And it's funny because I'll talk to people and they'll be like, yeah, it's called and talked to this guy on the phone, but he was kind of rude or he was like kind of a dickhead. And I'm like, look, I'm the only person you talk to on the phone. I'm like, but you, like when I finally see these people in person, like I tell them, I'm like, you got to understand, you know, I'm like, I have people coming in here all the time that are not serious, that are slap dicks,
Yeah.
That don't appreciate what this is.
Yeah.
You know, like people come and walk around and be like, "What's a membership?" I'm like $50 a month, and they're like, "Why?" I'm like, "Just go."
Why?
I'm like, "Just go." I'm like, "Just leave."
Well,
like,
shoot, man, it's funny. Like, even though I've never been here, I looked around. I get why it's $50 a month.
I mean,
it's
dude,
huge.
I got 80 pieces of equipment in here.
Yeah.
Like, I got a full powerlifting section, full strongman. I mean, and you're paying for the privacy too, to not have to deal with all these douchebags.
Did you guys have stones back there? You guys had lifting.
We got stones up
you
to
have
almost
stones.
400 pounds. Yeah, from 20 pounds all the way up to 400 pounds.
Nobody has stones.
Yeah.
So
we got a Conan's wheel. I got a Conan's wheel custom made. Like,
dude, come on, that's awesome. That's so cool. That's really reasonable. If I'm being honest, I mean, it's very reasonable
because of the niche that I cater to. I mean, the niche I cater to is the minority.
Yeah.
So the majority of people they're going to call, the majority of people are going to walk in here are not going to fit in.
Yeah.
So that's the majority of the people I deal with. So I purposefully try to scare people away.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to get offended by what I sound like on the phone, because I don't curse at people on the phone.
No,
like,
you're a nice guy, dude. You're fine.
I'm not like a bubbly, uppity 16-year-old cheerleader.
Hi, it's Shawn. Fuck you.
It's definitely not like that. So like, if you're going to get offended and turned off just by hearing me on the phone, what are you going to do when you come in here and it's leg day and you hear people screaming like they're getting limbs amputated without anesthetic? Like, what are you going to do when you see somebody deadlifting 700 pounds?
I'm the one plate guy, so.
Yeah, I mean, you don't strike me as the guy, as the type of guy to get intimidated. Right. But and that's the thing. So, I mean, these people are like, if you could just get intimidated by talking to me on the phone.
Yeah. Oh, that's that. Automatically, that's your signal. You're like, just go somewhere else.
Yeah, you're probably not gonna fit in. I mean, it just is what it is. I mean, I don't want, dude, at the end of the day, the money doesn't fucking matter to me. I don't care. I want people here that are going to build the culture, they're going to build environment that belong here. Just like with personal training. Yeah. Dude, I was making a shit ton of money personal training. A ton of money personal training.
Usually,
it was not worth it because 90% of the people did not care. Yeah. They did not give a shit. And I'm like, why am I here?
Yeah, and then your heart's not in it, obviously. You don't care. Yeah.
Absolutely not. Yeah. Absolutely not. So I want people here that fit the mold, that belong here. I'm not here to collect money. Yeah. Like, I'm not. So during quarantine, I stayed open. Okay. I didn't close. And I had so many people call and want to pay guest passes and want to buy memberships, and I turned all that shit away because I wasn't taking new members. We were literally just catering to the members.
I was about to say, I'm sure you had, like, you stay open, but got to be careful. Sure. Somebody's going to complain.
Yeah, sure. Oh, we had so many people call and complain. The second that we went to phase 1 and gyms were allowed to open at 25% capacity, I had a fire marshal here that day because somebody called and complained. And he walked in, he looked around, he's like, "But you're good." I'm like, "Okay, thanks." Like, I had so many people try and get this place shut down. Like, it was whatever.
Wow. But, they're coming in, you're telling everybody, hide, the machines go. Right. You can't be seen. Yeah. Right.
But dude, I turned away so much money during that time. I mean, I could have made tens of thousands of dollars during that period where everything was shut down. Yeah. But that's not what it's about. I don't give a fuck about the money. Like, I don't. It is about the culture that this place is. It is about being different. And it's about the people that we cater to. I don't care about the fucking money.
I love that, man. And then it'll come. Like, that's the business thing too.
Yeah.
It's obviously, if you don't care about it, it'll come in droves one day.
Yeah, I mean, if you're genuine with people, like I've had people that have lost jobs and I've given them a free month membership. Yeah. I've had people like, "Look, man, like, I don't have the money to pay you when gym dues are due. I'm getting paid like in 2 weeks. Can I pay you them?" And I'm like, "Sure." Like, I work with people. Yeah. I mean, it's not, "Oh, fuck you can't pay me on this day, you can't come and be a member." Like, I would rather you come here and, because this is therapy for a lot of people. Yeah. So I'd rather you come here and be able to still have this regardless of what shit's going on in your life. Yeah. To where you can keep some aspect of sanity. And you're here because you're dedicated. So,
you're engaging with the community.
Right. So why would I try and take that away from you? Yeah. I mean, I just don't understand that.
I feel like it would be fun if you had somebody come in here like dressed in a full like Nike Adidas tracksuit or something.
Dude, I've had people come in here dressed in some of the most trifling shit you have ever seen.
I was just thinking that would be the greatest thing ever. I'd like to be there if somebody comes in and is like, "Oh, this is nice."
I've had people come in. They go into the hallway. They make it to the break room. They look around. They turn right the fuck around. That's it. I mean, dude, I've had it all.
There's no air conditioning.
Yeah, I have had it all here.
That's so cool, man. Yeah. Oh, but that just creates stories, though. And you guys, I mean, you have a massive social media following.
Yeah,
big on social media, man. I see pictures. People checking in.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Keith, a bunch of competitors coming here. A lot of notoriety there. So,
I mean, the thing that I love is somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that everyone we've had that's competed in a meet, whether it be powerlifting, strongman, bodybuilding, whatever, I'm pretty sure every member we had competed something has placed or has taken home a medal or a trophy. You know?
From as far as I know, from the people I know, definitely. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, big names. Yeah. Do you guys do any kind of personal training here? Or is it
I have trainers here. I have a couple in-house trainers.
Okay.
I'm not real huge on outside trainers just because they've never been here before, so I don't know what your mentality's like. I don't know who you are as a person.
It's kind of like they have to be members. They have to be committed already, and then you can kind of accept them as that if they want to.
Sure.
I got you.
Yep.
That's awesome, man. I love that.
And all the trainers here have done it.
Yeah.
They're not book smart trainers. They've all competed. They've all dieted. Not all of them competed, but they've lived the life. They've put in the work. They've dieted at some point. Some of them competed at some point. Like they're not just, oh, hey, I went and got a certification. Now I'm a trainer.
Yeah.
Like, because I don't believe in that shit either.
Yeah.
You know, I was a personal trainer for a couple years before I actually went and got certified, and I went to the certification.
Yeah, but you've been competing for so long. It's you didn't need that. I mean, dude, personal trainer test is annoying anyways.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a joke. Like it was utterly ridiculous. And then you learn that shit. But then, okay, what happens when you have somebody that has a shoulder injury and wants to be able to do a certain exercise but can't? How do you modify that exercise to accommodate that person? Unless you've been doing it, unless you've had injuries, unless you've learned how to work around shit, you're not going to know how to do that.
As something, when you were personal training, I know this always bothered me. A lot of people never thought they could squat. You know, squatting was a big one to work. And I get it. You know, if you're somebody who's experienced pain a lot in your life, maybe you don't know the parameters and everything. But I get that from a lot of people. You know, like people my age, younger, and you know, I don't know. I'm 27 right now, but like early 20s, you know, they'd be like, oh, I can't squat. You know, I got knee pain, and it was. But to your point, you got, you know, there's obviously accommodations you got to make for people if they have problems or they have injuries. But a lot of times, you know, it's easy. It's not that hard. You know, you can do it. You just got to try and desensitize your body to movement.
Yeah, and a lot of it, and a lot of it's a form thing, and a lot of it is people just want to push weight. Nobody wants to be the guy under a squat bar with 25 pounds on the side, but if that's what it takes for you to have right form and for you to strengthen all your soft tissue to where you can squat 3 plates eventually correctly, you got to throw you out the door and you got to do it. But no one wants to do that. They just want to say, I got knee pain, I can't squat.
Yeah, and that's what it is. So yeah, it's tough to make them do that because that's the, like, shoot, I guess personal trainers better than me would know how to push them past that mental barrier and make them do that. But it was always interesting because you're kind of fighting against them. You're like, no, you can try this, do it, you get better at it. You know, it's all about training. Yep. And you're putting them on other stuff. You know, getting on the little like this thingy right here. Yeah.
I mean, my training partner, he's older. He's had surgery on both shoulders. He's torn rotator cuffs in both shoulders. One of them, I think, is retorn or not attached. And there's not a single shoulder exercise that him and I do that he can't do that we haven't been able to modify for him to do.
Yeah.
And I mean, the doctor told him, like, I don't know how your shoulder's still inside because you have nothing keeping it there.
You've got nothing there.
But he can do it all. And if there's something he can't do and he wants to do, we find a way to modify it to where he can do it, and he does it.
I love that. Man, that's awesome. And how old is your training partner, man?
I want to say he's about to be 50.
Okay.
He's 50.
I'm working out with somebody who's about that age. Yeah. He's helped. We're training each other, but it's kind of cool. I like that dynamic though.
Yeah.
Like an older guy with a younger guy because
I'm an old school type of guy. I mean, I'm not super old, but I'm also not super young. But I mean, like, I was raised in that old school mentality.
Get up off that chair, you can be like, let's go.
Right. I got joint pain. But I was raised in that old school mentality, so it's easier for me to work out with somebody that's older than me because they have those same ideals and that same work ethic, and he works his ass off.
Yeah.
And he pushes hard and he pushes me. So and I'm just so particular and picky about who I train with and how I train that, a good training partner is worth their weight in gold.
It is. No, and it's funny how it's I'm seeing that, with this and everything, but it's like once you got somebody you just know is there with you 100%. It's perfect. It's great.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's a new relationship.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, so that's awesome, man. Well, cool, dude. I'm good. You good? Yeah, that's perfect. Awesome.
I can throw
It's all good, man. No, that's perfect, man.